closet here, and as I'm walking this way, out of the corner of my eye this way, I see something going this way in blue. All I caught was blue. And of course, when I looked, nothing was there.
All right, hi, my name's Colleen. I worked here at the house from 2006 to 2009, and I worked here almost every day. Getting hired here was, in fact, the happiest day of my entire life until I started giving tours. That first day was a little bit traumatic. I was giving practice tours with another tour guide who was teaching me the ropes, how to get everything, you know, to line up. Came through this room, talked about this room, walked into this room, and as I was giving my practice tour, I used a word to describe Mr. Borden that I refuse to use ever in the house again. It was a less complimentary version of the word frugal. Anybody else who wants to say it, feel free. I'm not gonna. Finished the practice tour, went back downstairs. We had some guests come in for a regular tour, and I asked the other employee, Kathleen, if I could follow her regular tour so that I could learn, you know, more about the house and that kind of thing. Come up the stairs, she gives the tour of this room, she walks in here. Now, mind you, I said that word like 4 times when I was in there. We walk into this room. As soon as I crossed the threshold, and I made sure I was the last person into each room, started to get a little scratchy in my throat, a little bit, and I figured I've been talking all day, you know. I excuse myself, I don't want to make noise while she's giving the tour, go into the bathroom, get a drink of water, I feel fine. I come back into the room, I cross the threshold again. Still feeling a little scratchy. Now I'm really starting to cough. I went downstairs, went outside, said to Leanne, think I'm just going to sit here for a couple of minutes, see what's going, you know, just kind of relax. She asked me what happened. I told her. I was like, it's not a big deal. It's okay. It felt a little strange. I came back up one more time and decided I wasn't going to let this really freak me out. Came back in. Kathleen was getting ready to take her tour upstairs. I got through the door and was about to step out to the other door, and it just felt like that on my throat. And I kind of stopped for a second. It wasn't really, really hard. It just felt like somebody had just kind of stopped me, put their hand right here. And I stopped and I waited, and it started to squeeze and started to squeeze and started to squeeze, and then it just let go. And I ran right down the stairs, through the kitchen, and out back to the barn. And she looks at me, she's like, oh my God, what's the matter with you? I explained it to her, and we chatted for a few minutes, and I kind of caught my breath a little bit. And I'm not a great one for having a lot of paranormal experiences until I started working here. She looks at me and she says, are you coming back tomorrow? I came back the next day, and I kind of thought about it when I got home, and I thought, I shouldn't have maybe said that. This was, you know, I may not be his biggest fan, Mr. Borden's biggest fan, but this was his home, and I shouldn't have spoken about him that way. I'm going to be here every day. So I came back the next day. I know it sounds really silly, but I walked right up to the portrait downstairs in the sitting room, and I apologized. And for 3 years, I gave tours in this house and didn't have any more issues that I thought were Mr. Borden. So that was my first day working here. That room? You want me to, This one actually, I don't know if you could call it any kind of a big deal. I just don't go in there. I give tours. I gave tours every day. First couple of tours I gave, I went into that room, and I just wasn't happy. I would walk in a great mood. I would walk back out just like, yeah. It's not, it's a very specific and mild set of physical symptoms, and they happen in the same order every single time. I would get this icy feeling up my back, and I would feel a little bit sick to my stomach, and then for whatever reason, I would just feel like somebody was touching the top of, just doing this on the top of my head. It was the weirdest thing ever, because I couldn't figure out why. And so I don't really go into that room ever anymore. I had a group come in that was filming for a little cable show, and they actually convinced me to be interviewed in that room, and that was a very, very big mistake. But, Yeah, there's something about that room I don't like, and I don't know what it is. And that room used to be Lizzie's room when the family first moved here. How long after? I can't remember because I'm rotten with dates now. Did they switch?
72. They switched 2 years before the murder. When Lizzie
That's right.
came
They
back from
switched
New York.
rooms, but that used to be Lizzie's room, and for some reason, I don't know why, I'm just very uncomfortable in that room. There you go.